Hello, beloved, and welcome to another episode of Africa's Vital Role in Christianity. And I am your host, Kathy Lucas. Today, my presentation will focus on how God gave advanced wisdom and knowledge to Africans out of the Bible, and how this demonstrated God's mighty, majestic power, and for his creation to realize and recognize how totally sovereign he is. This presentation was given by Dr. Edward Henry Dowdy, who was a brilliant black scientist, but more importantly, he was a Christian who revered God, and he had a deep, intimate love for Christ. And so, beloved, this journey that we are about to take consists of Dr. Dowdy's presentation in two parts. And I want to let you know, in case you didn't, that I am super excited for us to take this journey today. I've known about this information for quite some time now, and I think that my timing is on point. So come on and let's go and take this journey today. I'll start with Genesis, the beginning and the pre-flood period from Adam to Noah. Genesis, 1st chapter, 7th verse reads, "And God made the firmament and divided the waters, which were above the firmament." Dr. Dowdy explains that it did not rain in those days, and scientists can prove that by going back to archaeological findings on Earth. And as we move through the podcast, please keep focused on the word firmament. All right, let us talk a little bit more about the science of Genesis. I am so sure that it does not come as a surprise that the Bible is the first science book. As a matter of fact, the first chapter of Genesis fully explains how science tries to catch up as God is commanding creation. Can you imagine that? Do you get a visual when you read Genesis chapter 1? I try, I really do, and it is fascinating. So you may be asking, how does Africa fit into the scheme of things? Well, the first science took place in Africa, and the first scientists on earth were African. The subjects science, mathematics, and engineering started out in Africa. The first known iron smelting of history is known to have gotten its start in Africa. So how can this be proven? Well, simply put, everyone's DNA molecule can be traced back to Africa. Did you know that one DNA molecule extracted from a baby will be almost 12 feet long, and that molecule contains information about the color of your hair and characteristics of the person? And when God created the DNA molecule, he made sure that no two people would be alike, not even twins. This knowledge just simply attests to the fact that we are all made in his image, but we are uniquely different at the same time. And I think we can safely conclude that Mother Africa has always been technologically advanced by God's providence. All right. So, remember when I told you that I would come back to the firmament? So let's talk about it. The word firmament means the heavens or the sky. If you will remember earlier in the podcast, I talked about how it didn't rain before the pre-flood period. Well, Dr. Dowdy explains that the firmament covered the earth, and people lived to be close to 1,000 years old, such as Methuselah, who lived to be 969 years old. So why were people living long in ancient biblical times? And it was determined that there was no contamination or harmful radiation, and due to the firmament covering the earth, there resulted in people living longer. So I truly believe that we as followers of Christ can find this information to be plausible because God never intended for man to die. But because of sin, the result is a fallen world. Right now, I want to talk about the calendar. The calendars that are largely used in much of the world today is the Gregorian calendar. But it is not the calendar of God. And it may surprise you to know that God recognizes the Jewish Nisan calendar. And the Jewish calendar is based on the phases of the moon. Genesis 6:3 reads, "And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years." I can safely state that God was very disappointed in mankind. And as you read past Genesis in the Bible, you can see that God began to shorten life because it grieved God's heart that he had created man on earth. Please read this in Genesis 6, chapter and the 6th verse for further clarification. I can tell as Dr. Dowdy continued to explain the science of Genesis, I was just mesmerized. He explains that scientists could not understand the Bible, but discoveries were made. And get ready for what I'm about to tell you now, because I think this is going to blow your mind. Did you know that one of Jupiter's moons has more water than Earth? Now, Jupiter has many moons, and just one of Jupiter's moons has more water than the Earth. Beloved, can you imagine that this information is just getting better? It just gets better. It does. But you know what? That will be in part 2. I have completed part 1 for the ancient Africans' providential biblical wisdom. So I want you to make sure that you come on back now. Please share my podcast on your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram timelines. And please leave me some comments. Please like and subscribe. And please visit my YouTube channel and Spreaker platform. You can use comments there too. I'm sorry, you can leave comments there too. I am super excited about the podcast that I just presented to you. I hope that you found this information to be helpful. I hope that it was something that you can also use in your research. I want to thank you for joining me from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to you joining me on part 2. Come on back now. And we will talk to you later. My God bless you forever. Bye now.